but I really want to point this out. So if you guys don't know, obviously Rumble hits in a line, or yeah, basically in a line. So an entire row is getting hit. What he does here is very insane. I don't know if he did this on purpose, but he's obviously scouting and has a lot of experience with like getting positioning advantages. He goes one row down with Trundle and tries to position the Rennie in front of the Rumble. Doesn't happen. The Rumble swaps to the other side, but now he has a problem on the other side, because the Rumble will, like the Trundle will stay in this hex, right? In the second row, the Elise will jump away, and the Rumble will hit one row in the backline, in his own backline, hitting only one unit. And now we'll go to the Trundle, which is also in a row by himself. So he's losing most of his damage. Like, obviously Corki is dealing some damage as well, and GP and like all, and like Echo as well. But one of the strongest, or like the win condition of Scrap is hitting the Rumble too with strong items. And he's minimized the damage by so much, just positioning like this. I don't know if he did this on purpose. Obviously, he was kind of lucky. He was trying to position the Rennie in front of the Rumble, so he CCs the Rumble. But yeah, this is like two like mind games you can do, like position the Rennie in front of it. If he stays there, then he gets Rennie ulted. If he swaps to the other side, this happens, which is much worse, by the way. You much rather get Rennie CC'd than this happening. Look, 3 casts in one, no, 4 casts in one row, I think. This is insane. This is such a huge edge for Coco in this fight. Alright guys, Mo here with another video, and today I want to talk about the rank 1 EU West player, Popo Powder. Others might know him as Le Coco, one of the strongest players that we have in EU, and he is sitting on 1848 LP with a crazy win rate. He's having a 27% win rate, which is extremely high, even for these guys that are sitting on so much LP. You usually see 15% or 18%. Like the high 20s is something very unusual. And let's get right into the what he does correctly, what is the thing that makes him so special, why is he performing so well. And I think I just have a very good game for that. This is the game for rank 1. This is the last game he played before now probably sitting for the snapshot. And one interesting thing about him is that he is obviously one of the French players that we have in the EU West. And he's a part of one of the best study groups out here as well, with people like KC Double in his prep group. He just has a very strong system of people that will obviously help him improve. Here's something very interesting, is already making 10 gold, not even interested in holding the Zyra 2 and holding the set in Nuno, I believe. Just prioritizing his eco is very interesting. Obviously still holds the Zyra pair. He could have had a pretty solid experiment start, but decides to not go for it. And yeah, just putting himself in a good position to have a lot of gold. When you are ahead in the meta, if you know what's good and other people are still not up to it, it's very good to play towards high econ, because if you have a lot of money and you know what units will stabilize you, it is very easy to come back. And we have gold augments as our first selection. We already have an econ start, which means everyone is going to be pretty rich in this lobby, which always makes taking econ a bit worse, because the money is so inflated. But since you already, oh yeah, okay, he decides to roll Patient Study away, and he gets Trundle. This was the one unit that he already had paired, so he's starting the game with 6 Trundles, which is insane. And with the extra anvils, he's able to make multiple items right away, and he instantly has a BT. He can probably now play towards the Starks and the Titans. He's gonna have Trundle 3 after the carousel, so I wouldn't be too surprised if he is gonna win streak the stage, even though he made 10 multiple times, didn't hold many units, right? And what I was gonna say is, taking in lose streak or like an econ augment in stage 2 doesn't feel the greatest if it's an econ start already. And yeah, Wave the Weight is just very good in a spot where you have extra anvils, because you are pretty much guaranteed to find items for the unit that you're gonna hit 3-star. at the end of stage 2, but in his spot, obviously, he will hit it quite early. I was very interested why he decides not to level. I think him scouting is obviously a big part here, probably, and also he doesn't have great ads, so nothing that would make him a lot stronger here. Let me put the speed a bit slower, because I think we are missing a lot on the scouting part that he does. Because one thing you can be sure of is that Coco knows how to adjust his decision making depending on what the lobby is doing. I think that's one of his best features as a player, his best strengths as a player so far. What I've seen from him or played against him, I think he does that very well, and he usually never puts himself in a position where he has to high roll or get something specific. And yeah, we'll probably look towards the Titans here. Obviously, losing also gives him a bit more pick priority, so instead of last pick here, he is third pick. Can't get a slam, sadly. Will just be the bow here. Could slam the red buff probably, just because you want to build Until anyway. And yeah, like I said, having this early of a Trundle 3 will just give him infinite tempo, especially because he's so rich as well. Right, he's also sitting at 30 gold, which is quite impressive. But we have to keep in mind everyone in this lobby is fairly rich, right? Since it was an econ opener. You can see someone that he's fighting right now has Starry Knight and also 40 gold. And we have Worth the Wait on the other side as well. I mean, I feel like if you get Trundle from Worth the Wait, you're probably supposed to play towards vertical Bruiser line and then just play around Twitch as your backline unit. So getting a bow was probably fine. Was very nice of him not slamming the red buff yet, because he just doesn't have to. He's winning the last fight regardless. He was strong enough. And with this many Trundles found this early on, you could actually probably realistically hit a Trundle 4 this game. And Trundle 4 is like a bit of an exception. Usually the 4-star units don't perform too well, unless you have the hero augment for them. But Trundle really benefits from the HP and also the base AD increasing. The HP obviously scales really well with the Bruiser trait, so I wouldn't be too surprised if we see a Trundle 4 this game. Holding the experiment units, just looking to play anything as a backline. Whenever you play this vertical Bruiser frontline, you usually want to end up on Twitch, but you can also, for example, just carry a Corki or even AP unit sometimes. Everything pretty much works as long as you have a good enough frontline with a decent backline. Just levels here. He's also 6 Zyras, decides not to sell a Zyra here. It's very interesting. Is he gambling that he will natural the Zyra? Because I don't think you're gonna roll on level 5 or level 6 even for these units. He has the Starks now, which is obviously great for Trundle. He can just keep the scrap bow on Trundle till he finds a Titans. And red buff should be the slam of choice, in my opinion at least. Rolls the Titans on the Trundle, which is pretty nice, but obviously he would win this regardless anyway. I mean, his opponent is playing Blue Streak Cameron, so there's no way he would lose this regardless. And yeah, now on a 4 streak. Mostly wants something that scales with the Trundle. Also getting an extra Trundle from the augment is actually pretty nice, because you're gonna hit the Trundle 4 a bit earlier as well. Yeah, and I think this is one of the rare spots where Heavily Smash is probably a really solid augment. And he goes for it. I feel like I would never see this augment unless the person has a Bruiser emblem already. And yeah, he could also just play double Trundle Trundle 3 at some point. If he finds the Titans, I'm sure he will just drop the powder as well to play another Trundle 2. You can see Coco just carrying the Zyra for now with Adaptive Red Buff Slam. I wouldn't be too surprised if you're gonna see AP unit. And we are in the direct 1v1 against the Irelia Worth the Wait. And yeah, Coco just hitting Titans again in a fight where it was really important to get a good scrap item on him. This is probably the difference of him winning the fight, which is obviously quite nice. Let's see, he will probably still go for that chain, just because it will guarantee him the Titans on every fight. And yeah, now he's just adjusting the board he wants to play. He knows it's for sure 6 Bruiser, but after that, he's a bit more flexible with units. He could play a Heimerdinger, he could play a Malzahar, could probably even, I don't know, look towards a Silco. I don't think Silco is that great, but yeah, I think the primary choices should be try getting to Malzahar. And once he just rolls for 6 bruises, I think he can even make it to Malzahar, realistically speaking. Because he doesn't have to roll too much. He needs 1 Elise, right? 1 Elise and he's 6 bruiser. And as far as backlines go, he has a lot of flexibility. Like, there's nothing specifically that he needs. Gets Experiment in here as well for the Zyra. Gets his Titans, so doesn't need to play the Powder anymore. And he's just scouting here, looking if he has to do some positioning or has to adjust his game plan. I think this is something that even challenger players don't do enough. Only the best ones do this, is adjusting their decision making and the way they want to play out the game based on what the opponents are doing as well. I feel like a lot of players play TFT as a single player game. They don't care about what's happening in their lobbies. Obviously, some stuff they do pay attention to. For example, Camber and cash outs, like challenger people usually have like decent adaptability towards that. But even small stuff can make a big difference on your decision making. And yeah, we can see the Mordekaiser now coming in. He sees, for example, here, Wandering Trainer, Trade Tracker. So he has to look out for him. Because if he hits a win-out trade, let's say he hits a +2, and he can hit the vertical trade. I didn't see exactly what the dummy had. But I think it had a sniper. So if, for example, if he has a crazy 6 sniper setup with like decent frontline, it will just be pretty hard to beat that, right? So he will probably instantly adapt towards more tempo and towards playing more for a second place. And the Mordehai rule is getting utilized to the fullest here. Obviously hitting a 5 cost this early on is always very good. Has 2 Trundle 3s in now. Obviously the Trundle just benefiting from the Bruiser augment regardless. Won't be too surprised if he level here, right? He has Swain as an ad if he wants to. But, might even decide not to do this. Because he just wants to greed a lot of money. He just wants to get to 9. And yeah, we can see the other player now with the trade tracker. This is the guy I was talking about. Like I said, depending on what emblems he gets from trade tracker, it could be pretty rough for him. But this combat, this augment combination, like Wandering Trainer into trade tracker, is very insane. Pre-levels to 8 now, makes 50 regardless. Spirit Link. Ooh, Spirit Link skills insanely well on these Bruiser units, but he's so high health that it's probably not worth it. A Noble Sacrifice is also decent. Oh, actually takes the Spirit Link, okay. This is probably like the best combat augment that you can take. Let me pause the VOD for a second. So recently I made the the decision-making tree. And I wrote at the end, like in 4.2, evaluate your spot and see if you are playing for a win-out. If you're playing for a win-out, pick a win-out augment. This is a perfect example of that. He knows he doesn't need to take anything that gives him an immediate spike. He just takes something that will give him the biggest fight at the end of the game. So Spirit Link obviously insane in the end game, in the late game for him, but not very great right now, just because he's so high health. And we can see the guy cashed his trade track. I don't think he hit a sniper emblem, if I'm not mistaken. So only 1 sniper emblem for him. So he should be beatable at the end. You can see the Wolf to World Aurelia in action again. This Mordekaiser unit just deals so much damage. That's actually not enough to beat the Rebel player. Obviously, Coco's still sitting on 60 gold here, right? Just completely chilling. He knows he has the game in his bag if he makes it to level 9 and can play around these legendary units. Especially with the items he has slammed, he has so many options. As far as 5 costs go, like he could keep this Mordekaiser, but also he has Malza as an option, he has LeBlanc as an option. All of those would be fine. Especially because you gotta play the Elise anyway, so you could fit the LeBlanc and maybe a Malzahar with a Morgana. You get 3 Black Rose. I know Black Rose is not the best trade in the end game, but I mean, you could make the trades work for sure. Trundle just fairly stable here with the Mortar one, especially. Like the Mortar one just dealing 8k damage is so great. Like he saves so much HP and he doesn't have to waste his gold on rolling for a board. Alright, and we are just having an open belt. We already have our anti-heal, but Redemption is one of the best items if you are playing Vertical Bruisers. I'm a bit surprised that we didn't decide to roll a little bit for Elise. I know he doesn't have to roll, just because he was so healthy. But in my experience, Elise is like taken out of the pool quite quickly, in my games at least, and it's always a bit rough if you have to hit the 1 unit for your trade, right? We want to play 6 Bruiser, so we do have to hit an Elise, but he's just confident that he will hit an Elise later on because he has so much money and he doesn't need the immediate power spike. That's why we take Spirit Link, and if you take Spirit Link, you probably also don't want to roll, so everything makes stylistically sense, right? Like, I like to refer to the decision-making tree, because everything I talk about in there, and the breakdown as well in the walkthrough, is happening here as well. Last Chance is obviously great here. If he wants to take that, decides to not go for that, has other options, and Titan of Teamwork would be crazy. But he doesn't have that many 3-star units, only 1. Dramatic Entrance would be good. Legacy of Shurima, obviously very nice. Hits the Elise natural. Gets the 6 Bruiser spike. Now can drop the Tristana and the Cassiopeia. Also, small detail, he always likes to hold Tristana, is from what I've seen. Like, a lot of times he will just use Tristana as a random add, just because she gives your entire team a little bit of attack speed. Just makes sense to play one of these emissary units. These are like the support units of the set, right? The Trundle right away in the backline can kill one. I wouldn't be too surprised if he actually wins this. He definitely procs the Legacy of Shurima in this fight. He's about to hit the Trundle 4 as well. He's like in 5-2 Trundle 4, right? If I'm not mistaken. Oh, Malza. This is what I was talking about. Malza is the best unit for these items, because even if your Malza gets somehow killed in the backline, let's say your opponent has some type of backline access, the damage will just keep going, and the Trundle is so tanky that it will just take so much time for your opponents to kill this unit. Obviously, with the Nunu, you get Visionary in all the time as well. Kinda for free. Decides to go 9 already. Play the Tristana. You're still not rolling, which I kind of find interesting. I don't think you want to go statics, just because you already have Malzahar as your magic penetration. So it should be like Titans or Rageblade. Yeah, I would go Rageblade as well. Yeah, we don't need the magic pill for the Malzahar since he has built-in anti-heal. He just puts it on the Trundle, he can pop it off later. He has 4 magnetic removers, he doesn't even have to pop it off. Actually even wins a fight against someone that's all in as well. So he's winning fights while being 50 gold. This is obviously very good. Oh, actually decides to move the adaptive to the front line, use it as a tank item, which is also great, right? I think this is a very good play as well. Just scouting here, seeing what the potential of a win-out is. And someone in the chat is writing, I need a trundle, but you have all of them. Yep. After this combat, he has the 4-star trundle as well, which is gonna be great. But hitting above the weight on a unit that you already have many pairs of, and then you natural one more, it's just amazing, right? And then you get the 3-2 augment, which also gave him another trundle. This is a very early trundle for, usually you hit it around like stage 6. If you are deciding to go for the 4-star version from Worth the Weight, sometimes you just sell the copies and use it as extra econ. But in his spot, it was absolutely correct to go for the Trundle 4. It's just scaling so well with Spirit Link, with the Bruiser Augment, with 6 Bruiser as well, with the Anomaly as well, right? Trundle just very decent with that. I'm actually not able to win that fight. Trundle 4 not strong enough. He's just, at this point, a tank. A tank that deals a little bit of damage. He's nothing special, like this is not the carrier of the comp. The carrier of the comp is gonna be Malzahar 2, LeBlanc 2, maybe even a Mordekaiser 2. Yeah, he's gonna look to upgrade these legendaries and win the game through them. Let's just keep rolling on 9. I like it. No level 10 here. Obviously, 6 costs are also always a way of winning games at the end, with how strong they are. So it's not to upgrade the Blitzkrieg. Place the Jace. Yeah, true, I didn't mention Jace yet. Jace obviously very good as well. So it's to Rage Blade the Balsa and not Rip Buff him. I think I agree, yeah. I can see that being correct. And yeah, we are just losing so many fights, but everyone already dying at this point of the game. And we are still looking for these legendary upgrades. Sadly, we didn't even find a Malzahar pair. Have a Jace pair now, which is not bad. Deciding not to play the Mordekaiser. Very interesting. I think it's fine, because we don't really have Mordekaiser items. And it's just much better to play backline carry at this, in this spot, since you have so much frontline already. The Jace fits really well. We have an open slot with the Tristana, so we really want to see a 6 cost for that. And you can see the Malzahar one dealing 8k damage is pretty decent, I would say. Trundle also doing a lot of work still. You can see the spot is not that expensive, right? We have one 4-cost upgrade, then a bunch of 2-cost and 1-cost and 3-cost upgrades like the Bruiser units, right? They are not that expensive, and we're just carrying legendary 1-stars, and they are pulling their weight quite hard. LeBlanc here, LeBlanc pair. The question is if you can hold that. I think we don't have the money, so no point in holding that. We just want to hit this Malzahar. And don't forget, we get still stronger, right? We still don't have fully the Spirit Link value. We still have an open slot on our board with the Tristana. The Jace 2 now is obviously gonna be doing some work. I hope we get a 3rd item from him if we make it to the carousel. I think we should make it to the carousel since we win this one. I think we win this one, yeah. Yeah, the Trundle is just so tanky, especially if your opponent is having no more anti-heal on their board. You just win every fight, because he heals that much for his ability. Already secured himself the top 3. Has a Renata matchup and a 6 scrap with Trade Tracker matchup in his rotation. Obviously a lot of items for that player, which makes Trade Tracker really good in that line. A bit surprising that he hit Rumble to an 8. It's usually not what we want to see from our opponents. But I guess he hit somehow. It's still level 8-0 gold, so that guy is not getting much stronger anytime soon. Unless he finds himself another 6 cost. He already has a Victor, so yeah. Oh, has the Malzahar 2 now, which is huge. Now we're just looking for a 6 cost as well. And we should be able to win out the lobby. When you die, I can finally hit Trundle 1 and go first. I mean, the Trundle is not a real big upgrade for him. to be fair. It gives him what? It gives him 2 bruiser on a board that has infinite shield as well. It's not really that great for him. The Trundle just in the backline. Holy. Okay. Looks pretty fine. We are looking for a third choice item, right? We want to stack our items. Gets the guard breaker for him. It's fine. Not ideal, but it's definitely not bad. Kind of surprised we are not playing Ambessa. Ambessa is armor and MR, right? Which should be high value on this bruiser board. Would be quite interesting to know his reasons for it. Obviously, Guardbreaker, very good synergy with JG. Good synergy on Malsa in general because he hits multiple units. There's a big chance that he hits someone that has a shield, and then the extra crit is obviously very useful for the JG as well. We're fighting the Renata matchup again, this time around the real one, not the ghost fight, which is obviously always much stronger. And we are barely able to beat him. Now we have to fight the Windstreaker. Looks fine. And I think we can definitely win that. His opponent is level 8 stuck. Obviously he has his legendary upgraded already with a lot of items in scrap. But that's definitely beatable, especially because his last augment is an econ augment from the opponent. And yeah, very great positioning. The Rumble? Oh, this is interesting. I don't know if he did this on purpose. I mean, I probably did. Can we look at this again? Oh, I went one fight too far behind. Okay. This is not the fight, it's the next fight. Oh, I'm going too far. The water is too long. Oh, he wins this. And then this fight. Okay. So what he does here is very interesting. He goes 1 down with the... Oh wait, is it the next fight? Am I tripping? It's the next fight. Okay, sorry guys. I am trolling just a little bit. But I really want to point this out. So, if you guys don't know, obviously Rumble hits in a line. Or, yeah, basically in a line. So, an entire row is getting hit. What he does here is very insane. I don't know if he did this on purpose. But he's obviously scouting and has a lot of experience with like getting positioning advantages. He goes 1 row down with Trundle. And tries to position the Rennie in front of the Rumble. Doesn't happen. The Rumble swaps to the other side. But now he has a problem on the other side. Because the Rumble will, like the Trundle will stay in this hex. Right? In the second row. The Elise will jump away. And the Rumble will hit one row in the backline. In his own backline. Hitting only 1 unit. And now we'll go to the Trundle. Which is also... in a row by himself. So he's losing most of his damage. Like, obviously, Corki is dealing some damage as well, and GP and like all and like Echo as well. But one of the strongest or like the win condition of Scrap is hitting the Rumble too with strong items. And he's minimized the damage by so much just positioning like this. I don't know if he did this on purpose. Obviously, he was kind of lucky. He was trying to position the Rennie in front of the Rumble, so he CCs the Rumble. But yeah, this is like 2 like mind games you can do. Like position the Rennie in front of it. If he stays there, then he gets Rennie ulted. If he swaps to the other side, this happens, which is much worse, by the way. You much rather get Rennie CC'd than this happening. Look, 3 casts in one, no, 4 casts in 1 row, I think. This is insane. This is such a huge edge for Coco in this fight. Oh, is he able to beat this? Barely beats this. Oh my god. This is actually the difference, guys. I'm not even kidding. This is a positioning masterclass. Coco shows why he's probably right now the best player in Europe and why he's sitting on rank 1 pretty comfortably with a 27% win rate. And gets his first place in this game and hits rank 1. I hope you guys liked this video. If you look for more informative content, please write it down in the comment what type of content you guys want to see. And if you are interested in getting coaching, I also offer coaching. You can join my Discord in the description. So from time to time, I also offer free coaching. So be there and yeah, have fun, guys.